Good afternoon. This is a special video discussion on the severe thunderstorm potential that is starting to evolve, especially around the Hudson River Valley, northwestern New Jersey, Catskills, and northeastern Pennsylvania. Over the past couple of days, we have been focusing on those areas for the potential for severe thunderstorms and strong thunderstorms. And that's why in those areas in the forecast have the highest potential for enhanced rainfall over the next several days because they will be focused with some pretty good rainfall for today. Now, let's take a look at some of the observations. And you can see right now, hey, temperatures are spiking just as expected. That warm air is dominating and driving in through. We're seeing a little bit of a sea breeze influence down towards southern New Jersey, and that's leading to a sea breeze front enhancing some thunderstorm development. Meanwhile, the rest of the Delaware River Valley up through the New York City metro are rapidly warming up. I mean, we're talking about temperatures in the 80s. And when we say 80s, we're looking at the mid to upper 80s up towards Newark, central New Jersey, right in here in Freehold. It's 86 degrees. It feels very summer like. And you can see the instability where a lot of cumulus building throughout the region. We have a prefrontal trough here that is starting to spark some showers and thunderstorms. There's our signature for a thunderstorm. That's the symbol over the Hudson River Valley and Catskills. And you can notice we have, for the most part, a southwesterly wind throughout much of the region. And take a look at the latest radar and surface map from WeatherTap. These are severe thunderstorms. Let's just refresh this real fast as we're getting a new update to come right in. And again, impressive thunderstorms out here. I'm not expecting much in the way of tornadoes because I really don't see much in the way of vertical wind shear. There are some pockets, but it's more based on speed shear than it is on the directional change in the atmosphere because everyone is shifting to the southwest. Everyone is from the southwest along the from the surface all the way up to 500 millibars. So it's all directional from the same place. So you're seeing the impressive setup here with these thunderstorms setting up and a few isolated thunderstorms down here around the Jersey Shore with that sea breeze front setting up here. So what can we expect going forward? Well, let's take a look at some of the observations. First of all, on the visible satellite picture, you can see the cumulus field setting up, one along the sea breeze front, the other one over our boundary area with our trough. And this alignment here is the same alignment as what we're seeing with frontal genesis at the mid levels. And I think that is going to be the key in determining where we're going to see the bulk of our thunderstorms today. So clearly, we have plenty of instability. Look at the look at the lifted uh, this is the lifted index, excuse me, from the surface all the way up to 500 millibars. This signal right here basically has me focusing the best potential for severe thunderstorms around the Delaware River Valley up through roughly, let's say, the Hudson River Valley. So this setup here tells me, hey, don't be surprised to get thunderstorms starting to spark here and then lift to the northeast. It's kind of died off here where we have a more stable air mass along the coast. That's still a theme as we go through early May. Once we get to June, this will start to become less and less of a factor around Long Island, but you still have some influence there. So your strongest instability is always going to be over eastern Pennsylvania and western New Jersey because that's where you're going to really be able to maximize heating. And so that's what we're seeing right now. And in terms of the potential for effective bulk shear, this is either speed shear or directional shear. In this case, it's going to be speed shear. You're seeing, first of all, not much in change in the direction of the winds. Notice everything's coming in from the southwest. So that's why we're not looking at directional speed wind shear. We're looking more at speed shear. And even with that, it's not very organized. It's more in some pockets here and there. You have some focus up towards northern New England, but that is about it. For most of the northern mid-Atlantic is below 35 knots. So again, I think that severe thunderstorms are going to be more of an isolated case. We're already seeing a few isolated storms already, but it won't be a widespread threat. But we do have plenty of moisture. So with these precipitable water values up to around 1.2 to 1.4, that increases the potential for occasional to frequent lightning and also the potential for heavy downpours and small hail. So when we take a look at our whole setup here, notice we're starting to see a focus of lifting here, but that's about it. along the coastal plain, not that much, not that bad. All you're forcing is with our new upper level low that has finally formed, right pretty much where we expected it. And it's a little bit to the west, and it's heading towards Indiana. So by about later on this afternoon, it should be over Indiana. So that is pretty much on point. So all this strong lifting, that is what's going to be heading towards us for tomorrow evening, Monday, and Tuesday. And you can see that very nicely here on the water vapor satellite picture. Clearly the upper level low is taking shape here. All your best lifting and dynamics are here. Some dynamics are out here. You're starting to get a clash between the upper level low and our ridge. So you get a little bit of a ridge axis here, and that's going to protect the coast a little bit. And you can see on the upper level winds at 250 millibars, there's that little bit of ridge. Here's a little mid-level shortwave. That won't be a factor for us. But you see, let me zoom in on here. You see this little signal here? See this little spreading? Let me zoom in even more. You can barely make it out, but it's right here where we're seeing the spreading of the upper level winds. This small little detail here is a signal for me of rising motion in the atmosphere and the potential for stronger thunderstorms. And so when we look at 500 millibars, there's that signal showing up. And then here's our upper level low marching across over the next couple of days, over the next 90 hours. And that's what's going to lead us to waves of rainfall. At 850 millibars, this shows up even better. Take a look at this. See this? See this lifting? That's all because of that little small divergence in diffluence that is setting up that thunderstorm threat. You combine that with our SKUTs right now. This is the HRR SKUTs showing plenty of instability, 1,125 joules per kilogram CAPE. So we do have the lifting, but notice what I was saying with the winds, all from the same direction. So I'm not seeing tornadic potential here. I'm seeing maybe some speed shear, and certainly when we start getting that lifting, that potential for some hail and downburst wind gusts. Our downburst CAPE is at 500 joules per kilogram. That's good enough for some downburst wind gusts, and that could create a mesolow, which could create a isolated tornado warning, but it actually won't verify. So don't be surprised to see a tornado warning because of the mesolow, but not necessarily an actual tornado. So over the next couple of hours on the HRR, you can see the focus. Where was I saying all that lifting? Right here, right? Where is the HRR focusing the lifting? Where is it focusing the thunderstorm? Same location. So for the coastal plain, I will get maybe an isolated shower thunderstorm via the coastal front, but the main focus is going to be over the interior with waves of showers and thunderstorms, impressive ones at that. And then going beyond that point over the next 90 hours. Again, for today, if you're on the coastal plain, you'll miss out on a lot of the rainfall. But by tomorrow afternoon through Monday into Tuesday, waves of rainfall. Won't be constantly all the time. You'll get some breaks, you'll get some drizzle, but just waves of rainfall producing anywhere between 1 to 3 inches on the coast and 2 to 4 inches over the interior. That is your update for today. Have a wonderful day, and as always, stay safe out there.